What's going on, y'all? You're listening to and watching This50.com. The Winner Circle motivates you. I am your host, Junard. And today, I'm excited for my guest, a brother from another mother through music. My guy, he is not only a musician, a songwriter, he is an activist, and he is a father. I want to welcome to the show my guy, RL. Peace, RL. What's going on, man?
Man, thanks for having me, man. You brought back great memories, man. Like, back being on the road when we were innocent, when we didn't have all of those priorities and the politics of the game and all that hadn't hit us. It was just about the music, man. So I was really looking forward to the interview. I'm just happy to be here, man. And I mean that. Like, it's crazy because a lot of people are sitting at home, and I always tell people that my core audience wasn't on the internet like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so busy with life, working, kids. Now, having to kind of sit back and take a step back, they're actually having time to look at things that jog their memory and take them back and to reminisce. So for you to use your platform and allow me to, be on here with you is a blessing, man.
Man, I appreciate it. And we were talking, just to catch everybody up, off stage, we were talking about some of the groups in the 90s that we came up with. Some of us were one hit and two hit wonders, and then you got multiple hit wonders like yourself with the group Next.
So, yeah, but not
talking about.
It was about the machine. It really wasn't about talent. I hate to say it like that, but truthfully, if you were lucky enough to be on a certain label with a certain staff that was going to know where to stick and move and push a certain button, then you was good. Because there were so many groups that were so talented as you guys. And, we were talking about Profile and, Mariah's group and Liberty, all these groups. It was really about your label situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, we had Clive, 112 had Puff, Jagger had Jermaine in the crew. So there were different advantages. Of course, we had Naughty by Nature. So I feel bad to an extent because you guys were all just super dope, man.
No, it was an amazing time where some would argue us being of the culture of the 90s R&B, what we call true R&B, was real music. But back then, RL, and I want to take you back. Back then, the way we broke records was to go out, shake hands, kiss babies, and our MP3 was actually a vinyl record when you had to call up the DJ and tell him, hey, KG, did you put a needle on the record? Tell me what you think about the record, right?
Yeah, now it's MP3, it's email, it's streaming. Before you had to have that ADAT, the DAT, you showed that. Wow. It was just a whole different ball game.
Wow. You just gave them a history lesson. They're like, hey, man, what are you talking about? I mean, I'm certain that y'all were using 2-inch tape when you first started recording.
Man, we Pro Tools, we didn't even know about Pro Tools to the second album. We like, what's that?
Exactly. Which made life easier, but it was just going from analog to digital, man, and just the music, the same feel was there for the 90s R&B.
Right.
But it just made everything, so the digital piece, man, was just an amazing piece, man. But we shout out to all those 90s R&B groups, the female artists, the male solo artists as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
You were and are one of our prolific songwriters, man. I wanted to ask you, when you wrote songs and performed songs like you did with so many, I don't even want to eliminate anybody, but I want to just talk about Deborah Cox. Like, that is a classic record. Like, what goes into creating I guess you can't really count on what will be a classic record, but it's a timeless record when you write it. What goes into your process when you're talking about, hey, I got to pen this joint and I got to get it out of my head, and you put it down on pen and paper?
Well, what's funny is the one record in my whole career that I didn't write was that one. And I give credit to the person that wrote it because he's one of my favorite people in the industry. You just mentioned him, Montel Jordan. And I honestly say he's one of the best. He's a godly man, one of the best men I ever have met in my life, him and his wife. And what happened was Clive would never let me do features. Like, there would be calls to the labels all the time, about me coming to do records with different artists, and he wouldn't let me do it. But luckily, Deborah was the label mate, and I was on tour. So I get the call, and back then, to be honest, we didn't even know about how much money we were making. We didn't. It's like, we're living, we're bills perfect. We didn't even care. So it was probably pennies that I got to do it, but I was just so excited because I was a fan of Deborah. So we did the record, but we did it separate. I started in Detroit. I recorded there because we were on tour with Boys II Men, and I just sang. I had never really been in the studio per se without either KG or my group members. You know what I mean? So it was like, I'm kind of lost. I'm just singing. I didn't know what I was doing. So then I get to LA and they put me in the studio and Montel and Shep Crawford are there. That's who wrote and produced the record. So they kind of guide me. We finished the record. Next thing you know, Clive is like, okay, we're shooting a video next week. I'm like, wait, what? So I didn't even realize the magnitude of working with a little X. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we do this video, and the next thing you know is it just blows up. So we only performed that record one time live. It was at the Lady of Soul Awards, and we've never done it since.
That's
never done it since.
We got it. We just be given the times right now. We need to get y'all together as soon as we get out of this COVID situation to perform that record, man. And that was on the success of a soundtrack, and we don't even put value into soundtracks like we used to, man.
Right.
That record was a driving force for that particular soundtrack and movie, man. So I want to thank you for just pushing the culture forward on that level, man. And for next, what you guys contributed to music and R&B, man, coming from, Flavor, the whole Flavor Unit family.
Yeah.
Amazing. I want to talk about that experience for you because I want to make sure we show those guys love because it's been some years, man.
Right.
And, the classic VH1 stories always happen. You know what I mean? Like we go through these things and we see, our idols like New Edition, they go through growing pains. And we go through those things because we're young. We don't really know. And success is like, it's like that forbidden fruit and that bitter fruit. And you guys created some amazing music and some amazing memories for a lot of people. Please just
appreciate that.
Just a little piece of what you could share about that experience along that journey with both of them.
Well, what's crazy is they're real blood brothers. They have the same mother. So there was always a disconnect with me, but it was love. But it's automatically different when it's siblings. But I was always fighting for approval from them because I looked up to them because I'm the youngest. So I always went extra hard, but I was super immature. So people thought I was arrogant because I didn't say much, but I really didn't say much because I would get in trouble because I would just say stupid stuff because I think really fast. So I'd be embarrassing myself. So instead of getting my group member, especially Tilo, he would just give that look like a dad would, like. And then, I respected him so much. I respected both of them, but I looked up to him so much that I wanted approval. And then we got with Kay, and it was a whole different dynamic because what people didn't realize is we actually started with Low Key. They snuck us out to Flight Time.
Wow. Shout out to Low Key.
Yeah, wow. They snuck us out to Flight Time to sing for Jimmy and Terry, and they would sneak us out there to record our demos. Jimmy and Terry signed the group solo instead of us. And it hurt us because I'm Northside Minneapolis born and raised. And I just knew, okay, this is my break. They're going to see this talent. They're going to sign us. And they didn't do it. So I almost gave up after that. Nobody really knows that. That was the one time in my life that I thought about giving up, saying, okay, I'm just going to go to college. Because at the time I had a son on the way. I was in high school. And I'm like, you know what? I might just need to take this scholarship and go to school. But we were behind the scenes working. Next thing you know, KG, we had snuck him a demo tape. Well, okay, I'm gonna give you the real story. I'm at soundcheck at Glam Slam, which is Princess Club.
Right.
And we're opening up for Aaliyah. So I'm there, Aaliyah and all the crews there, soundcheck. They're running late because they at the mall getting wardrobe. They running the KG from Naughty. We opening up for Aaliyah at Princess Club Friday night. Saturday night, Naughty's performing at where are they performing at? Naughty's performing at First Avenue, the legendary First Avenue. That's where they shot Purple Rain.
Right.
So we go to the show that Saturday, and they'd already given the tape away. We really weren't supposed to get a tape away. Like it was like, these ain't our records, these demos. They gave it to him anyway, but he just threw it on a tour bus. So Brother Jules, who actually was Prince's DJ for the new Power Generation, is on the tour bus after they show. And he's asking, I'm restarting my label. What's the, hottest groups out here, artists? And Brother Jules sees our demo right there, and he goes, that right there, that's the best you're going to find. That right there is it. He picks up the tape, puts it in his pocket. I guess he listens, and rest is history.
Wow. That's a beautiful thing. Listen, when y'all came on the scene, man, with that video, there was a spark, right? Because there were guy groups right before and right after, and you guys just set the tone for good music, feel good music, and that contribution, man, is still a building block for what we love, especially those of us from that era, love about R&B, man. I want to talk about, unfortunately, just your take, man. Just tap in on what happened in your hometown of Minneapolis with George Floyd. How has the vibe been, and how are you guys going to move forward?
Well, I can't say, well, you have to move forward, I guess. You never get beyond, something like that, because this is the third time it's happened in my city. First, it was Philandro Castro. That was in St. Paul. And then there was another young man that died on the north side where I'm from. And then this situation happened on the south side. I actually went back home and I met with the chief of police of Minneapolis. And I told him there's a disconnect. I said, back when I was growing up, there was police officers that saw you and you pulled your pants up and stood up straight because there was a level of respect you had for them. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a fearful respect. It was just, I respect you, whether it's OG, whether it's your kids go to school with me, whether you're a coach, but I know you in the community. I know you're a stand-up person and you just want what's best for me. You don't necessarily want me in jail. You just want me to be better. And it might be, you probably could have arrested me, but you said, look, don't make me call your mama. Get in the house. I know it's past your curfew. Don't make me call Tony. It was a certain relationship you had in the community. Now I asked the chief, I said, you can't show me one kid from the inner city who's not from a law enforcement family that wants to be in law enforcement, because they really have a disregard for the police. And I said, we have to change that. You have to let them know, like, yo, this is wrong, but that's not all of us. I proposed a few things, and I'm actually going back because they want to use some of the things I said. What I really want to do is, okay, you become a police officer and you from the suburbs, but they make you work at a precinct in the hood. You can't, you have no empathy or sympathy for any of these people. You don't know anything they've been through. You don't know them. You can't relate to them. So you kind of start looking at them as unhuman because they're not like you. So you can't compare them to you. You don't have any type of empathy for them. So what do you do when you deal with them? You deal with them with gloves, like they're not a person. So I told him what you need to do is 2 times out of the month, for especially the first year on a job, make a cop paid. He's on duty, but he's at a community center. He's out in the community, not necessarily working as a police officer, but volunteering so that you can get to know people. Because once you know somebody's story or what they've been through or their backstory, you seem to show them a little favor, not necessarily let them break the law, but you have a little understanding and a respect for their situation. It's almost like you see the guy, he's out here, he's talking loud, he's drunk, and you go, oh, that's just Leroy. He barks a lot, he won't bite. I'm gonna put him in the back of the cop car, I'm gonna take him home, and I'm gonna tell Sheila to let him sleep it off. It's stuff like that. And I just think that that's really what needs to be done. I'm not for ending the police. I understand that defunding means taking away a lot of the budget, which I am for, because I think misuse of funds is a lot of it too. But I honestly feel like, I feel bad because the same way they judge us for some of the bad things that happen from people that look like us, we're judging them the same way. Deservedly so, somewhat though. Correct. So, I went up there. I was supposed to go with Steven Jackson because that's my guy, because he lives around the corner from me in the A. And I went up there and we saw each other at the airport because he was having a march the day I left. So I ran into him and Charles Oakley. They were getting ready for the march, which is admirable. The thing is, I feel like, and I'll use this, and I don't want to go too far on this tangent, but I'll use the Jay-Z Kaepernick situation. I honestly feel like we spend so much time worrying about each other's journey instead of the destination. Me and you can have 2 different ways of getting there. We might have different directions. You might be using Apple Maps. I might be using Waves. It doesn't matter. But as long as we get there together, that's all that matters. Whether it's kneeling, whether it's going into the establishment and learning the game and trying to take over, there's nothing wrong with either way. You can agree with one way more than the other, but we spend so much time with infighting that they're laughing because sworn enemies that have the same enemy will join forces on that end, on their side,
for the greater good,
for the greater bad on their end. But yes, we don't do that. He slept with my girl in the 9th grade. I'm cool. There's so much we can achieve together, but we're so broken a lot of times that we lose focus.
Well, listen, if there's anything that I could do and we could do to help push those conversations forward, please don't hesitate, man. You pick up that phone, man. You reach out.
Most definitely, I appreciate it.
I am there. I am there. I want to talk to you about you're an amazing dad. You make no bones about it. How important is it as we move from this George Floyd situation to little Black boys and girls who are being hurt? How important is it to be a positive role model? I know that no one is perfect, RL.
Right.
We are all human. But how important is it to be the best example and role model for our young people, especially our young Black boys?
Well, you know, my son is 24. You know what I'm saying? So he sees things more than anything. Like literally yesterday, he called me, he broke up with his little girlfriend, and we had a conversation. And funny thing is, he called me today and said they worked it out, because I basically told him, take a step back. Y'all both cool off. And if it's supposed to be, it's going to be. I said, but truthfully, I'm 43. I said, who you dating at 24 probably ain't going to be who you're going to be with at 44. I said, but you never know. So what you need to do is understand that y'all might have been together so that you could be better, so that you can learn from this, or y'all work it out. He called me today and he said, you know what? Thanks for the conversation, which is crazy because it shows his maturity level, but he really listened. With my daughter, it's more about what I do than say, because she's watching. You know what I mean? With him, he's old enough to understand words and, you know, how I can talk to him. But I have to talk to my son probably more in a more sensitive manner than I do with my daughter, because a man's ego and pride is really fragile. I think that we don't really realize that. With a woman, there's an inner strength that they don't even realize they have, that they pull. So it's different. With her, I just wanted her to realize, you know, with her red hair and being different, that means she's special. You know what I mean? Because I know that the other day she was like, your hair is black, daddy. And she was like, mine is red. And I looked at her, I'm like, yeah, that's because you're special. I need you to understand that. So I have to instill a different kind of strength in her than I do than my son. But the crazy part is, you're still afraid. Like, I hate to say revolution. I'd rather say evolution. We're in an evolutionary time, not a revolutionary, because that's revolving. We're on something new. And I really want to give credit to the younger people, and that makes me feel so old to say that, but I want to give credit to the younger people because they're on the battlefields. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was proud of my city because they ignited the fire that started an evolution, literally. You know what I mean? And you know, I always hear them stories. There's Black people in Minnesota. You saw that on CNN. There was some Black folks in Minnesota.
You sure
did. They turned up, but they did it for a cause. I feel like that's the future, but they're setting a future for my daughter now. My son, you know, it's funny having a child at 40, but he's setting up the future for his sister. You know what I mean? Because I was younger than him when I had him, so it's like it's a funny dynamic. But I'm really proud of the generation that's out there marching and doing things. But the truth is, like I said, same destination, different journey. I'm not gonna come out there to help you tear it down. I agree with it, but I'll come around when it's time to build it back up bigger and stronger. Because I have too much to lose. I can't be out there and, you know, I got to get home to this 3-year-old. I have a responsibility for this 24-year-old. So we can do it in different ways. We just fight the same battle, just with different weapons.
Man, I love the way you put that, man, so eloquently, man. We need it. And shout out to him, man. Keep pouring into him, man. And know he got an uncle over here, man. Because, you know, sometimes they don't like to hear from dad. They I say it, or you know, T-Lo say it, and it's like, yeah, dad, guess what T-Lo said? You're like, I've been talking to you about that whole time, word for word, verbatim. You ain't want to take it from me. You know,
that's what always happens. It's funny because that's happened because my son lived in Phoenix for a while, and that's where his uncle T-Lo lived. And I used to have to holler at T-Lo on the side, like, yo, can you talk to your nephew about this? But he'll do the same thing with his kids. So, I mean, that's why they say it takes a village. And I think we need to get back to that.
We got to get back to the village concept, RL. I strongly believe in that wholeheartedly because that's just how I was raised, especially from a West Indian household. Everyone was involved and everyone contributed. And if you couldn't talk to mom and dad, you talk to your uncle, your aunt, or your cousins, or your grandmother or grandfather. So having that village concept, we got to adopt that. We got to revisit it. And it's extended, man. You know, it's the influencers. It's having you talk to my kids or my people, my neighborhood, and said, listen, look what he's done. Look where he's come from and what he's done, right?
Right.
Extended family educating and inspiring and motivating the next generation of leaders and thinkers and creatives. And we need that now more than ever, man. For you, for those who are listening and watching today, what is the best piece of advice you've been given that you had to tap into along your journey that you could share with somebody who's going through it during these times of COVID and racial suppression, or losing their job and wanting to go back to school, that will kind of give them that burst of energy and that spark to be inspired and motivated again to live their dreams and fulfill their dreams?
God is real. And I'll say this because it's funny. About 12 years ago, I was riding in the car on the way to a restaurant. I got a call from my business manager letting me know that my accountant took my whole life savings, everything. I lost everything. Literally for 7 months, I didn't have a car. Nobody knew. I was living like a doughboy. I had money in the mattress because all of a sudden the IRS came for me. I mean, it was just a bunch of different things. And it was funny. It was right when I moved from Minnesota. It took me, 29 years to move from Minnesota, like to leave the nest. I get to Atlanta. I got this big old house. I was like, okay, I'm ready to, be on my own away from my family. And I lost everything within a year and a half, including my house. So I literally had to learn how to be a man. I had never even managed a checkbook before. It was all music. I was an artist. I didn't know how to be a man yet. And that was God removing me from my safety net and then slowly taking things away from me to build me up. And I didn't understand it at the time. It was, woe is me. Why, Lord? It brought me closer to God. It made me a better person because, to be honest, when you got paper, you say you mess up with your girl. Here's some money. This is how I'm going to apologize. This is how, I got caught up. Here, go shopping. I had to learn to be a better man because I ain't have it like that for a minute. Of course, those things change because luckily with publishing and, other opportunities, God started putting blessings in front of me. And truthfully, the things that happened to me became my testimony. And I'm not glad I don't have a paper, but I'm glad that I was tested because I feel like I came out stronger. So truthfully, God is real. And listen, I do me. You know what I mean? I'm grown, but
exactly.
I read my scripture every morning, say my morning prayer. I pray over my kids. And now I understand, what the OGs were saying when they would talk about God and these different things. Maybe my relationship is different because I feel like I am a Christian, but I'm not religious. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I'll preach to you, but it's going to be in a way of layman terms. We just talking. Ain't gonna be no art thou and thy. Right. And we ain't Shakespeare, baby. We just talking.
Right. And more spiritual.
There you go. That's what it's more spiritual than religious. So for me, being tested like that and losing so much, you lose friends, you lose people that's always been around and you realize why they was really around. But truthfully, just know that whatever you're going through, God sees you. Just continue to try to persevere. Things is gonna get better. I honestly believe that hard work trumps everything.
I love it, man. Listen, for those who are watching, man, I hope you take that gem, man, that he just shared with us. And I know you're going through something, or someone close to you is going through something. You might have lost somebody recently, but like RL said, man, God is real. He'll get you through it. Lean on whatever it is that is a higher power that allows you to get that strength. And I promise you, you will come out on the other side even stronger, like RL said. For you, RL, music is a soundtrack to our life. And you are one of the practitioners of this field in a major way. For you, what song best represents your journey? Or what song do you turn to kind of get you inspired and motivated on a particular day or for a particular situation?
Well, I guess what describes me is probably best man. Trying to be the best man I could be. As far as what song, I can't really say a song, I say artist. Whenever I need to be inspired, and if I'm listening to some OGs, it's probably Joe's first album, which people don't even know about, which is Everything album. I'm in love, round and round I go.
Let me tell you something. I got that album. Keep in mind, All Star did the remix, the Stutter remix, and we was a part of that journey. But Joe, that first album, that Everything album, Now, I'm gonna call Joe when we doing this interview. We got to get him on here, and I gotta get him, you, and I don't know. We're gonna get somebody.
I think he's working. I think he's working on an album right now. Him and Tyrese are doing an album together. But Joe knows. Joe, we had a calendar that came out, and we had to put like our favorite artists and favorite whatever. And I put Joe. Like Joe knew. Like before we made it, my mother owned a hair salon, and one of her beauticians had a tape, and she was from Chicago with Joe, and she had it early. I don't know how she had it, but I stole it. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I was in love with his voice, the songs, everything. Him, I got J Moss's first album. J Moss don't even have his first album. No, listen, I have J. Let me watch this.
Hold on, you matter of fact, you go get it. Watch this. Pull it up. Hold on, watch this. What you talking about, RL?
No, look, you ain't got this. Is J Moss' first album. Look at this. Oh, that's that Joe. That's that first album. I was just singing that today, singing if loving you is wrong, baby, I don't wanna be right.
You got the runs and everything.
Well, I used to try to emulate him and probably Tank. I think I'm so happy about Tank's success because early on he should have got it. Back when I Deserve, and then he had the label situation with Black Grounded. They kind of put him on the shelf. I'm just so happy to see him blessed. But if you talk about new artists, it's probably everybody listening to her, and I like her. But my favorite, her name is PJ, and she's from like North Carolina, but she was in LA, and I think she just did that. There's a TV show on HBO with the Insecure. She just did the video, and she's on the soundtrack. She reminds me of Missy mixed with Macy Gray. She's super cold in hood, but she fly. Her, and then there's a lady out of the Bay Area, and I grew up in the Bay Area, California. Her name is Tiffany Gaucher. She's open, lesbian, music, sensual, cold, blower. Dopest, two of the dopest female artists I've heard in a long time.
If you were to do a duet tomorrow,
easy, Brandy.
It would be the next joint. Who would you sing with?
Brandy or Shania Twain. I love country music too, so it'd be Brandy or Shania. It's easy. But I have a record on my new project I'm doing, and I'm waiting for Coco to send me the files for that.
Oh, that's gonna be
SWV. Yeah,
that's gonna be stupid. Shout out to Coco. That's the homie right there, man. Oh man, I would be looking forward to that. Man, you know what? We're gonna do some music together, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. So now I want to test your knowledge and have a little bit of fun. This is all in fun. For those who are watching,
let's do it.
We're gonna play this game called University of Dope, and we're gonna go through questions, have a little bit of fun. So the first one is: it's the first day of school, and you are trying to look fly. What are you wearing? A. FUBU, B. Sean John, C.
Fat Farm or Rockaware. Okay, I got you. It's Sean John.
All right. Next one. You can only watch one after school. Which one is it? Yo MTV Raps, 106 in Park, Rap City, or TRL?
Oh, that's hard, but I'm gonna have to go with 106 in Park because they play R&B. You know what I mean? I really would say Yo MTV Raps, but I would have to say now because I'm an R&B. Well, I was a rapper first. I had a record deal for rapping before I became a singer, or before I decided to focus on singing. So I'm a hip hop head.
All right, so this game is perfect for you. So here we go. Next one. Lights, camera, action. The best film with a rapper in it. Belly, Paid in Full, Boys in the Hood, or Set It Off?
Boys in the Hood.
Stay in your lane. Stop trying to sing. Wyclef, Lil Wayne, Ja Rule, or Drake?
Oh, man, that's hard, man, because they got hit records. But I have to say Ja Rule because I just saw him in that commercial. And 50's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I got love for Ja, but 50's my. 50 was on our second album.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I've always had a certain love for 50 to see his journey. So I had to say Ja, because put it on me, yeah.
Reinstate back into hip hop. Guru, Jay Dilla, Nate Dogg, or Big Pun?
Big Pun, that's my guy, man. He's one of the most talented lyricists, man. Oh, I love Big Pun.
I miss him. I do miss that dude. All right, best Thug Love collaboration. Always On Time, Ja Rule and Ashanti. You're All I Need, Meth and Mary. What's it going to be, Busta and Janet, or Best of Me, Maya and Jay-Z?
I gotta go with the Busta and Janet because I still want to hear it right now. And my guys Chauncey Black, and of course my big bro Teddy. But that record was it crossed over. It was and the visuals was crazy. I know everybody gonna say Meth and Mary, but yeah. I'm sorry, that Janet record is whew.
The best song dedicated to your moms. Miss Jackson, Hey Mama, All I Got Is You, or Dear Mama?
Dear Mama, easy. Because I got to. Miss Shakur sent my mother flowers after I did the record with Pop, and called me and thanked me. So just knowing her story and everything, Dear Mama, that's easy.
Dope. All right, now it's crunch time. RL, erase one person from hip hop history: Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Lauryn Hill, or Missy Elliott.
Y'all gonna kill me when I say this. Lyte was like my crush group. Coming up, MC Lyte was like People Are Asleep. That was probably one of the first rap CDs I listened to. Missy has done so much for the culture. She does everything. I'm going to go with Lauryn Hill because truthfully, she'd probably be late anyway to the show. And I got love, but sorry.
Love you, Miss Hill, but you be on some CP time. One got to go. J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, or Childish Gambino?
Gambino. Because he can act, so he could just be like, forget the rap check. I'm gonna go act.
I'm gonna go act and get that bag over there.
So right, because if I'm gonna have to choose one, he got that secondary career, so we good.
Drum roll, please. The best hip hop soundtrack. Friday.
Above the Rim. You don't even gotta go there. Above the Rim, easy. What? They had to let me be your part time. But that H-Town, all that whole CD was man, come on, man.
Now cuts like glass. Gotta keep your high power to the mass.
Man, the whole joint rock, man.
Crazy. Now this one, last one. Erase one from hip hop history. Nas, Biggie, Pac, or Jay-Z?
I can't even answer that because I can't. Like, I'm gonna be honest, that's the one that I can't answer. None of them. I wish that I wish Big was here. He was my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I think he just changed rap, so I can't really say. And Jay is the Bill Gates of rap to me. Like what he's done and what he's shown other cats coming up that come from that lifestyle. Like, look, you can transition and all of a sudden be doing this and be behind the scenes helping free people, trying to change the prison system, all these different things. Like, man, like those are all bosses. So I can't even. That's one. None of them.
Nah, I appreciate you for playing, man. It's all fun, man. I'd love the answers, man. And like I said, University of Dope. It's a cultural game for hip hop. And they coming out with a R&B version. So we gotta make sure you in that, man. That you part of the history. So we're gonna make that happen. For those who are looking for some more RL, man, what's next for you, man? Where can we find you and what's coming down the pipe?
Well, I'm just RL everywhere. I got the single out, You Are, which has my daughter and my wife in the video. It's an anthem for women. I put it out for Mother's Day. But I got my solo album. It's called The Procession. We actually have, if you can see behind, I can't see it right now. Let's see. Is it gonna come up? It says Next by Nature. We got the Next and Naughty by Nature EP we dropped, and we already got the first single. We're finishing that up now. I got Afrobeats project I'm gonna put out in Africa, and then me and my partner Brian B. Flat Cook, he just dropped his EP today. We're working on my nephew Tyler's album. We did the Duval pull-up record with Ty Dolla $ign. We wrote and produced that. So we've been behind the scenes just trying to continue to keep the legacy going and make good music. But I'm just RL everywhere, man. You're going to see me mostly post pictures of my daughter and, little snippets of music and stuff like that. But, man, I thank you so much, man, for letting me chill out with you and hang out, man. It's been super fun, bro. For real.
No, this has been dope, man. Listen, make sure you follow this young man. Listen to the music, get the old music.
Thank you.
And if you really want to do your homework, Google him and figure out what he wrote. It will change your life. And it'll probably get you to find that one that you love too. But listen, we have fun. This is your boy June Archer, the Winner Circle Motivates You here on This50.com with my guest today, RL. We thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you love somebody, man. Tell somebody you love them and make a difference, man. We need it now more than ever. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we love y'all. Peace.
Peace.